My name is Carol Frost, and I'm an assistant professor here in the Department of Renewable Resources at the University of Alberta. I study arthropod community ecology. Some of my projects are about this question: restoration. How can we restore arthropod biodiversity to an area? So by arthropods, I mean insects, spiders, crustaceans, everything that's an animal with jointed appendages. But I say arthropods instead of insects because we work a lot on spiders, and spiders aren't insects. But I digress. What is restoration? So restoration is returning an area that has been disturbed, so often by human activity, but could be by a natural disturbance as well, to its natural state. And so that sounds simple, but an important question is, what is an area's natural state? And this is a difficult question because ecosystems naturally are changing all the time. Some species are becoming less abundant, other species are moving in and becoming more abundant. So the composition of species that are there, the relative abundance of species that are there, is naturally changing constantly. And some kinds of this change we have a word for, which is succession. So after a disturbance, the community of living organisms, of plants, microbes, insects, larger animals, starts to move back in, and a community starts to assemble again. And that successional pattern is often pretty predictable within a given system because certain species have qualities that make them very good at colonizing disturbed areas and growing there. But sometimes those quick colonizing species aren't actually very good at competing with other species that come in more slowly. So sometimes there's this colonization competition trade-off. And so fast colonizers arrive, and then other species arrive more slowly, but they're better at out-competing other species. And so there's this predictable shift in plant community composition through time. So that kind of change is natural. So when we have disturbed an ecosystem ourselves, let's say that we've completely removed all of the vegetation, and we want to restore this community back to a natural state. What we can't usually do is just leave it alone. What happens if we leave it alone is that weedy species will come in. And weedy, people use that word to mean different things, but what it always means is fast-growing, good at colonizing species. The problem with a lot of weeds is that they're non-native, and sometimes they have invasive qualities, which means that they not only arrive fast, but they're also good at outcompeting other species, and they just form a monoculture of just that species or just a few non-native species, and the system stays stagnant with that plant community. But that's not what we want for restoration, because that isn't what was there before. So very often we have to participate and sort of help the plant community get back to the state that back to a more natural state. So we do this by planting particular plant species. And this is usually where restoration starts, is with the plant community. I guess in some cases it might start even before you get to planting plants with putting soil back. If we've even removed all of the soil, let's say that we've done mining in an area, then we can't just start planting plants on bare rock. We need to first reestablish soil. Soil is unfortunately something that we just can't create. Soil takes hundreds, and in some cases thousands of years to form under living plant communities. So in order to put soil back in a place, we need to take it from somewhere else. But that's the first stage, put back some soil so that plants can grow. And the next stage is choose what plants to plant, and ideally selecting native species that you're going to be able to get to establish. And once we've helped a few native species to establish, the idea is usually that sets things up towards moving towards a natural state, and other plant species will move in. And that's often where we leave it, is we restore the plant community with the assumption that animals will come back on their own. Insects will colonize, fungi will blow in and colonize, larger animals like birds will arrive, mammals will start using the area. So right now, where the science is at, we usually have a plant-first restoration approach. My research is, some of my research is working on how can we restore communities for pollinators. So this is not thinking just about plants, but also pollinators. How can we ensure that we have a plant community that pollinators are actually going to use, and not just any pollinators, but many individual pollinators and many species of pollinators. So in that way, some research is focused on animals, but my research on this question still focuses a lot on plants and tries to investigate what plant species support the most pollinators, the most species of pollinators, and the most individuals. And then the other group of pollinators that we're very interested in is rare pollinators that might not be on that landscape if their particular kinds of plants that they prefer are there. So that's how we take a restoration approach for pollinators. So to summarize, we've talked about, first we need to put soil back. The next step, and this is the biggest and usually the step we spend the most time on, is helping native plants to grow. And then in some cases, we also think about how can we help animals to come back. And that is where restoration is at in terrestrial systems today.